we're going to play 12 minutes of 4 different CCG demos, so I hope you enjoy the following games. This demo, Borubots, is quite an interesting game. Here we get to start by picking a bot, so I'm just gonna pick this double-decker. It looks quite interesting. And before we start, we're going to head into this shop, which allows us to top up our decks. This means that we can capture new bots. To capture new bots, we're going to go into the grass. We're going to lay a trap, which does cost us some money. And after we capture, we get into this game of kind of like Blackjack. So we draw a card and we can choose to hit or hold. For example, they went bust, so I won, and that means I got a new bot. They have a semi-auto rifle and homing launcher. We can add the team, send to storage, or take their fuel. In this case, I have a free slot here, so I'm going to have 2 monsters now. Now we're going to get into our first battle. So now we got to see the real gameplay. Basically, you control the bots. We can apply shields, apply special attacks, dash. So it's a twin stick system. We gotta try to defeat them while also protecting ourselves. The grounds are obviously different, so sometimes you have trees, for example. It's pretty interesting. I'm going to hide behind this tree and then do like an ambush, although they were using a shield, so maybe not the best time. And then I can apply my shield myself, although yeah, I'm not the best player, so you don't have to learn from me. Each battle also has a timer, so if I have more health at the end of the next 2 seconds, I will win, and that means I'm down to their last monster, well, bot. I can also swap into a different bot. Yeah, we get to see the bot that we just caught and get different bullet kind of experience because we have a semi-rifle, a different special technique, and you get to experience different gameplay based on the bots you have pretty much. So this is a quite interesting demo, even if I lost my first battle that was going quite well. The next demo I'm trying out is Monster Crown Sin Eater. I have played Monster Crown, so I'm already intrigued by this. And one thing I'm already noticing is different is that we can ride on some of these monsters, so we have mounts. So that's pretty cool. I do like the change in UI. There's a lot more details and it's quite easier to work with already. As I'm exploring, there are some really cute monsters that I remember from the first game. So we have Apo here. I'm gonna switch here into Golpangol because we have more HP. Because we use, let's say, Viletail, it had 10% chance to inflict plague, which it did, as you can see on the right. So I do love status effects. Like the first game, we can use pacts to capture and recruit the enemy monsters. Oh, this one is pink and it's spawn and it's really cool, Glossom. And if you know me, I would love anything pink. One cool thing here is when you have an effective attack with good matchup, it will flash red. So if I use Viletail, you will see it's good matchup, so we do more damage. I'm gonna use the normal pack and capture Glossom, which will be my new favorite monster. Around the world we'll find these kind of bags, which give us some items, so like normal packs or healing items. I do have like low health on everyone right now, so by being able to inspect and let's say restores HP by 20%, so I can use them and make sure that I can battle. There are also a healer here. You can pay 150 for example, or your pass, but I've already healed up everyone to full HP, so it's better than using the consumable items if you are close to a town. You may also find tamers around that you wanna battle, so you really can get to experience a lot of things. We have K-Knight against Ice, yikes. Although they swap into Hyena, and I think this is a really cool way of seeing multiple monsters that you can encounter in the full game once it comes out. And with one last Viletail, we finish up this tamer. And that was quite fun, and I like this experience level up screen here. I like the graphic pixelated stuff. You can also use your items like the aloe leaf to place the bait, and this will attract, let's say, carnivores. So you will see that question mark, they will be attracted, and that is a way to get into chasing them and getting into the fights. A really cool thing as well is that you can pick the human character as well to fight. So it can use the gun, and I think that's pretty interesting. But if you lose, you do die. So that was a very interesting game. So if you're interested, check it out on Steam. Next demo I'm playing is called Scaling Up. In Scaling Up, you are a dragon and you're managing serpents. So for example, we start with this serpentarium and these crimson snakes, and by feeding them, they're giving us this scale. Using that scale, we can build new buildings. So for example, we can build a fishing cabin, and we're going to put it somewhere. By right clicking on it, we will start building it, and we can pretty much speed this up a lot. Then we can purchase the seal snake. Then the seal snake, we can click it and we can assign it to go fish. So that is quite interesting how you can kind of manage the game. As the dragon, you can clear out resources. For example, you can get this rock, you're getting this stone, while as well removing it from the map. It's a two-way win. One of the most important is the gathering dance. We can get, for example, the wood snake as well as an algae snake. And we can send these either to manage resources like chopping wood right here, but we can also send them on expeditions. So let's say the grasslands, and I select what resource I want to get out of it. Each snake will drop off a scale based on the type of snake that they are, and you can collect these to further upgrade. So you might need a specific kind of scale for some of the buildings like we've seen before. Most of the buildings, they have self-eating snakes, except for the serpentarium at the moment in the demo, which we have a snake temple with a tender snake that will feed it for us. So that is kind of how you get more scales. And then from the inventory, you can sell these. So if you need money, you can sell these scales. So it can make a pretty much a neat managing game. And in the future, you'll also be able to expand. Right now in the demo, it was a bit too micromanagey in the clicking. So that was a bit of a downside that I experienced as I played through. But overall, it is a fun game. And if you like snakes especially, this is really adorable. Okay, we're gonna play Necromancer for a week now. We're gonna start with one of these monsters. I'm gonna pick Haxibor because I'm more familiar with it already. When we start night one, we gotta pick one monster that we get chosen, and we can hover to see what techniques they have. So for example, this has a poison to everyone, and it deals damage equal to the poison with toxic cut, which is pretty cool. But I'm gonna go with Gekalik because it looks cuter. And then we got into battles. After the first battle, I'm gonna pick Hippodile because it has another bleed technique, and I think that fits well with Haxibor if we're going to pick these two monsters together for our fight, because this is a 2v2. So for example, I can focus first on using Impale, which is gonna use the 3 action points, but it will apply 8 bleed. And then I can use something like the Clamped Down, which will apply bleed and do damage equal to the bleed. So these synergize well together. There's also some very cool techniques like Force Instruction, where I can learn from the other one. So now both of them have Blind Charge, and that means I can use 3 techniques every turn because I have 3 AP and 3 attacks. These monsters managed to get one of my monsters down, but after every battle, it's not a problem. We heal back up, so we still have Hippodile. There is no permadeath. Then, as a reward, we can choose to learn one new technique. I will actually use the hold tight, because if fits well with Gecko, who uses constrict and wrap. In fact, here I'm going to choose Gecko here, so we can show off this attack. So constrict will do damage based on the wraps on the monster times 5, so something that new technique we got can really help us scale. We're gonna gain it to wrap, so this time we're going to do 30. The enemy does have 20 shield, but with 8 wraps here, 40 damage, we got to scale up and confidently defeat it. There's a variety of statuses available in the game, so we're seeing both bleed on the enemy as well as poison on all of us, so that's something that continuously damages us and the enemy, so there are things you can factor in. Sometimes it's all about strategy, so against these two opponents, they are enraged, so they gain tame power every time they take damage. What is a really good strategy here, for example, I am using hold tight to increase the wrap, but not attacking, and with this new bird that I got, I am teaching Iron Resolve and Precision Strike, which costs 0, but like this, I am preparing myself so that I can hit hard and not worry too much about the power. Let's see, I use hold tight again, I use constrict, that's a lot of damage, precision strike, another precision strike, we just have constrict once and it's gone. So strategy is really important. Very interesting, you can do a duplication, so you can duplicate something, let's say like hold tight, and if we go again using a very similar strategy, now we can use hold tight twice and already doing a 25 with 1 AP. So this is a very good combination. And with that last battle, I finished my 4th demo. Make sure to check out the games on Steam, and I thank you for watching. Bye bye!